what's up, North County? I'm your host, Randy Doty. And today we have special guests. We have our sponsor, Borjon Auto Center, but we have Mark and Sheila here with us today, and we're going to hear the whole story of how this came about. Thanks for coming in, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So first off, I just want to say thank you guys for being a part of what we do here on What's Up North County and sponsoring us and being on this journey with us. So we appreciate that. So, but I'm really looking forward to hearing about this whole your guys' journey. Oh my gosh.
Banjo playing, yeah.
Yeah, the banjo playing. So tell me, how was this match made in heaven? This started in Wasco.
In Wasco.
Right?
Yeah.
So tell me about it.
He worked at a grocery store that my mom shopped at, Tops Market. And I was walking through the store and he was in the meat department. And I looked up and I thought, that is the most beautiful person I have ever seen in my life.
Wow.
Yeah, he was so cute. And I started asking my friends, like, who's the guy that works at, in the meat department? And no one really knew him. He went to Catholic school, but he went to high school, the same high school that we were in. I was in the 8th grade at this time. I wasn't in high school. And so, yeah. So finally, I think I just stared at him long enough for him to, look at me. But yeah, then he started coming up front and taking our groceries out. I would notice that he'd leave the meat department and take our groceries out. And so my mom said, I think that boy's got a crush on you. And I said, oh, I don't think so. I think it's for my sister. I had an older sister that she's beautiful. And I said, I think he's got a thing for Susie. And my mom said, no, I think it's for you. So, yeah.
So Mark, so obviously we've already talked that you guys are about 4 years in age difference, right? So, so back then, I mean, you're talking, you were in 8th grade. Mm-hmm. You're obviously a senior in high school, probably at that time. I mean, was Dad like going, hey, you know what?
Wasn't there a law against that? Is that what you want to say?
No. No. Just, I mean, because dads are protective. I can imagine Mark was very protective with his daughters and still is, I can imagine. But, back then, it's just like, how did that play out?
I think it was, I mean, no one thought it was going to be serious. I mean, all my friends even say, we still get together. We call ourselves the Yayas, and girls that I've been in, went to school with since grade school. And even they say, gosh, we never thought that you and Mark would ever even get married, So, yeah, my dad, I think, everybody just thought, well, she's got a crush on somebody, so this is just her first crush. So we had to sneak around a lot. I think his parents were more upset that he was seeing a girl so young than my parents were. So.
Sheila, I want to first stop here because I haven't not seen Mark never talk as much as he's not right now.
I told him, don't you say a word.
I mean, what did you do here?
You can talk now.
I'm like going over, I'm waiting for him and he's just listening away. But maybe he likes the story.
Yeah.
He's hearing the story for maybe the first time.
No, not the first time. He's heard it. Yeah. He's heard it many times. Yeah.
So Mark, is that the way it plays out in your mind?
Yeah. I'm a happily married man. Yes, absolutely it did.
He's no fool.
Absolutely, that's exactly how it did.
Yeah, I mean, Wasco is a small town. I born and raised there as well as Sheila, so we knew each other. I knew her brother, went to school with her brother, and went to school with her sister. I remember when I told my dad that I wanted to get married. And I mean, him being a strong Catholic, first thing he thought, he says, you need to go see Monsignor, and that's, that's not what it's about, Dad. It's,
Well, they automatically thought because I was so young that I was pregnant, and I wasn't.
Oh.
No. So we got married in 76. In January. In September of 77, we had Jennifer. And then 4 years later, we had our youngest, Stephanie. So we moved to Delano right after we got married, and then on into Bakersfield. And then in '85, we moved to Grover Beach because I took a job over here. And Sheila was working for Gemco. And so she got a transfer over here. And then in '91, when we bought the dealership, we decided to move to Paso Robles because that's where the dealership was located. And Sheila and I both agreed that if we're going to do business in Paso Robles, we need to live in Paso Robles. Stephanie, the youngest, was like in 7th grade. It didn't bother her at all. She went to Virginia Peterson. Jennifer kind of had a little bit of a problem. She was kind of a surfer girl being from Grover. And first time she shows up here, she sees everybody in cowboy hats. And it's like, there's a bunch of, cowboys and this and that. That's not my deal. 2 years later, she's going to high school rodeo and everything else. Riding horses. We team pinned together. We did all that as a family. The good part is, for me, back then, when you're team pinning or whatever you're doing, you got to build a team. You don't have to go ask somebody or beg someone to ride with you. They were forced to ride with me. So, it's been a great journey. We both know that we've been blessed. Our family, Randy. We've got a 4-year-old great granddaughter. Up until a year ago, we had 5 generations of us, and the generation before that, we had 5 generations. So we're a very tight family. Every birthday spent together with everybody. A lot of Sundays barbecuing. Sheila still goes to St. Rose's once or twice a week, and watches a great grandbaby, or her old class, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. So we take yearly vacations as a family together. I don't know. Maybe we're a little strange, but we do. We spend a lot of family time together.
I don't think you are, because my family is the exact same way. We spend more time with our kids than we do with our friends. Mm-hmm. And quite honestly, sometimes I prefer that. Mm-hmm. And we have just as much fun, get in just as much trouble mm-hmm. with our own, kids and family than we do anybody else. And it's. I think it's great. I think mm-hmm. family ties and being strong and being, so, hitched is very, very, it's good. It's good for your soul, mm-hmm. And it's good for the family, and it's good just for everything all the way around. Just, mm-hmm. Success and love and all that stuff together is all within one unit there. Mm-hmm. So, but I wanted to find out, so growing up in Wasco, so, even to this day, Wasco's not much of anything. Right. So back then, what happened on a Friday night?
Wasco was great. If I could take my kids back and have the Wasco that we had, I would have raised them in Wasco. You knew everybody. Your parents, if you did something wrong, if your parents didn't catch you, then your friends' parents caught you, and you'd still get in trouble. And it was a safe place. I think that's the reason why too, that I was so young and had freedom, is because nobody worried. Everybody watched out for each other's kids, and there was a thing called a square that it was 4 roads that streets that you went down, and so the guys that had the nice cars, the girls would sit on a corner somewhere, and these guys, almost like a car show, I guess, but they would drive around, and if anybody ever stopped and said, do you want to ride? Do you want to ride the square with us? Oh gosh, that was just like an honor, This guy had a Camaro and it was all swooped up, and he'd go by and rev his motor, in front of us girls, and yeah.
This was when Mark was courting you.
Well, if you want to call that, yeah. I think I courted Mark. Mark didn't court me.
That's funny. But it does bring. You think about those memories. You think about the small town. We used to live, I think, in a small town. We used to be pretty similar. Mm-hmm. Growing up, my dad knew everybody. Everybody knew who I was. And when you're right, when things did go south and you did get in trouble, most of the time mm-hmm. they heard about it before you even got home.
Yeah. Right.
So
right. Yeah.
But that's the unique part of growing up in such a small
mm-hmm.
area.
I love Wasco, and it's sad to go there now and see that the things that were so important to us are gone. The Main Street, 7th Street, it's just all like 99-cent stores and things like that. I think Wasco was beautiful. The Rose Festival, it was beautiful when we were young.
It's Randy. It's like anything. We sit and look at Paso Robles since we got here in '91, how much has changed, and we say remember this, remember that. Across the street from me was all dirt before Lowe's. You look out on Lene Road, they're building 100 or 1,000 homes or whatever they're building. It's changing. It's evolution, so it's going to happen. The city is doing a good job of making sure it's going the right direction. It's just we sit back, especially as I get older.
Yeah, you.
You look back and it says, wow, it's changed. But you look downtown Paso Robles, it's like, wow, the park and everything, it's absolutely great. We got great restaurants. But those old times when you didn't have to lock your door, could leave your key in the car, pick up girls on the square and stuff like that. They were great times.
Yeah, but but like I said, we coming from over there to here, right? And then settling, roots in 1991 is when you officially took over, or you and the Roy family, took over the dealership. Even that time was still, kind of still that kind of growing boom. People still, is it wine country? Is it cattle country? What is it? Maybe the North County was still trying to gain their, identity, of it. And then, like I said, you guys came from over in Grover Beach. Now you have a surfing community.
Yeah, right.
Paso Robles used to be called the Bakersfield of North County because it was hot. You didn't have the beach, you didn't have any of that. Now we've become an inn resort. There's people that come to Paso Robles that have no intention of going to the coast. It's just really changed, and it's a great place to be from now and live here. I wouldn't. I don't know that we'd move anywhere else, would we?
So Mark, so you went from, like I said, working in a grocery store, picking potatoes, to how did you went into the service department, right? And then you kind of worked into sales, and then how far after that did you move into like a sales management? And was it at the same location?
No, I worked for Motor City GMC in Bakersfield for a gentleman by the name of Dick Strickland, a great store, a great owner. The opportunity came for me to go into St. Louis and become a manager, and we did that. And then,
was it all GM still?
All GM.
All GM.
Yeah,
your experience is only
basically
GM.
Is all GMC. Yeah. Sheila's not one to move. She would probably still be in Delano.
I'm not a risk taker at all.
Let alone Bakersfield or even moving to Grover, and here to Paso Robles. But I think today she's glad she's in Paso Robles, and I think the entire family is. We got great friends. We've got. It's a great place to live. I don't. Sure, we have little petty crime. We have this and that, but as a whole, this isn't San Francisco. It's not L.A. It's a great place to call home.
But let me say, when he came home, we were living in Grover City, and I had 2 young kids. I was working full time, and we lived paycheck to paycheck. And Mark has always been ambitious. Has always said, I want to own a dealership, or I want to own a restaurant. He's always.
You got a little culinary.
Yeah, he thought he did,
huh?
but he's always trying. He's always looking ahead, always thinking. And I said, you're crazy. So when he came home and he goes, I want to buy this dealership. I said, with what? I mean,
So this was in like 89, 90?
Yeah.
Yeah, 89.
89. We had just built a house in Grover City, a new home. And we owned our home that we used to live in, Bakersfield still, and we had rented that out. So I had 2 house payments. And I was working for retail clerks, so I had really good insurance and things like that. But it took both of our paychecks to make ends meet. And so when he said he wanted to buy this dealership, I said, I don't know what you're going to buy it with. Like, there's just no way. So he said, we're going to sell everything. We're going to sell, he had a sand dragster, all of our toys that we took
Life
out on the
insurance
beach.
policies, everything.
Everything.
Really?
Sold my car because I was going to get a demo. And, I thought, we've got these 2 kids. We're going to lose everything. Everything that we've worked for, we're going to lose. And he said, so what? If we lose it, we just put our heads down, work hard, and we get it back. He goes, what's the worst that'll happen? I said, we've got these 2 young kids. I mean, so I said, okay, I'm going to trust you. And at first, probably 5 years were really tough. I felt like we still lived in Grover City. Well, how long? No, not 5 years, maybe 2.
What, Grover?
Yeah.
We bought the store in July and we moved in January.
I felt like it was a long time, but I used to take the kids to see him because, they wouldn't see their dad. He worked 7 days a week. He'd get home when they were already in bed. So I would put them in the car after they'd had their baths and did their homework, and I would drive them to Paso and let them hang out with Mark for a little bit and then drive them home and put them to bed. So when he said, let's move to Paso, I thought, well, yeah, that's going to be, easier
closer.
for all of us. So, yeah, we moved to Paso.
So how did you and the Roy family, how did that connection happen?
Fred was a service manager at Rancho Grande.
Okay, so you guys worked
So
together.
yeah, we knew each other. It was a good partnership. It afforded us both to do something we both wanted to do. It obviously kept our costs down because we split we 2 people buy a dealership. It's a lot easier than one person buying it. And we kept Mike Wallace on, who had owned the store before, for a while. And it's like everything. There's ups and downs. We saw 09 with when they didn't think the car, GM filed bankruptcy. Everyone filed bankruptcies. And, the housing industry was collapsing.
That was a terrible time.
So we've kind of seen it all. And I'm sure we'll see some of that again before.
But you had Fred, so Fred obviously had the back end of the house. You are the front end of the house.
Yes.
So, partnership, being that you guys both have the whole thing works out perfectly. Because he's got that, you've got the front end, you got the sales side, he's got the service side, and the back side.
Fred's dad, Lyle, owned a Chrysler store down in Orange County somewhere. So that was Fred's background. He was on the service end of it. He knew the warranty end of it. He knew the mechanical end. He knew all that stuff. I had been in service back in '75 or '76, but had graduated to the sales end of it. Fred's perfect scenario was in that service department because he had that gift to be able to run a service department and a parts department. So it was a good deal. It's just in time. Fred looked at retiring and the economy and everything else, and you just wonder why you're in the business to start with.
Yeah, but you had so over the years, you had Cadillac you had Buick. You had all these. I think it was Golden Hills, GMC.
It was Paso Robles GMC truck. GM wanted us. They wanted us to partner with Pontiac and Buick, so we bought Pontiac and Buick from Pete Johnston.
Okay.
5 years later, GM says Pontiac's going away, as did the Oldsmobile and Saturn. and all that. So then we had Buick and GMC. Buick 6 or 7 years ago called us and said, "Here's the deal. We're looking to cut back on Buick dealerships. By 2025, we'll be all 100% electric." Which today,
does that hold true?
No, Buick has not produced an electric car yet.
Wow.
So they offered buyouts to 2/3 of the dealerships, and we ended up taking ours. So I'm back to what we were originally, was with GMC truck. Buick they only make one car in the U.S. Everything else is made overseas. GM is still, all our heavy duties, all that is still made in Flint or Fort Worth, Dallas areas, so Arlington. I'm good being back to where I started with. I mean,
you came full circle. And it makes it, I would imagine, it makes it easier as a dealership. I mean, because you guys are known for your service department. You guys are known for your knowledge of the vehicles. It probably makes it beneficial to have one product that you're really deep diving into, and a product that you already know, which you've been selling for years upon years.
Sure, and some of it's love. I love GMC. I mean, if the opportunity came up for me to go buy a Ford store, it'd be a hard deal for me to look at, and Sheila knows that. I mean, she's GMC. She's just as GMC as I am. Jennifer and Steph, they're all we're GMC people. I mean,
any GMC tattoos?
No. no tattoos at all, right?
No.
Okay.
But that's important, and again, that's why you guys have, the following. You have the customer base, you have the service, you have the sales, as you do, because you guys know that product, and like I said, I was in the service department, and a client that was waiting in there he was telling me why he drives an hour and a half up to Paso Robles to go to the service department. And I said, "Tell me." And he told me, and after he was done with it, I'm like, "Okay, we got to do this again, because I got to record this." And it was because of the service department and the fact that you guys were able to fix and pinpoint an issue that he had taken into the dealership over a dealership down south, never a resolution, brings it up to you guys one time, and all of a sudden it's fixed.
Randy, we've been lucky in the fact that we have a mechanic that's been with me since 1991. Becky, our office manager, started with us when, I don't know, she was 20, 22, whatever, and
Don't say how old she is now.
she's not 39, okay? But I mean, she's been with me for 20-some years. Kevin's been with us since 91, after he got out of Cal Poly. We don't have a lot of turnover, so I guess everybody feels like family there. I mean, we just like it with our home life. If it's your birthday at the dealership, you're getting a cake. Doesn't matter how long you've been there or whatever. Everybody gets cakes. It's family. I mean, I know everybody every day. I mean,
So Mark,
Sheila knows everybody there.
now you're there every single day. So you're at the dealership, so Sheila, can he ever pull himself away for a week?
When we travel.
Yeah.
If we're gone, of course, but just to stay home, he's just not that guy. He goes to the dealership. It's constantly on his mind. So when he talks about maybe retiring, I tell him, there's no way you're going to be able to retire. What are you going to do? You're not content being out here, So
What would you do?
drive me crazy. That's what he'd do.
You're going back to work.
Yeah, he'd drive me
For sure.
crazy.
It's just the way my makeup.
His dad was like that, though.
Well, why would you want to? I mean, it's
Yeah.
a
I
way
love
of
what I
life.
do.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. And that's his identity. I think that dealership makes him get up every morning and get dressed and go to work. And that's, that is who he is. Where I feel like for me it's my family. Like, I appreciate what he does, and I have the lifestyle I have because of that. But I'm the one that's more grounded in, without our kids and our family, that plays a huge part in 90% of our happiness is that. The dealership, I do appreciate that, for sure. Sometimes I have to remind him, Jennifer's your daughter before she's your employee, so be kind. And Haley is your granddaughter. So.
I know. I always, there's, 3 generations of business mindset, and technology. I always kid with, Haley, because Haley's on the, the social media, the technology, where it's like, Mark, probably, close to me as well. It's like there's somewhere in between, like old school books and writing down, notes and stuff like that, versus, trying to figure out where you put it in your phone so that way you remember, a note. So, and then you have Jennifer, which is right there in the middle. So, I mean, so Mark, tell me how that plays into your everyday life at the dealership.
I constantly remind everybody to have a legal pad and a pencil. And I think they just tell me yes to make me feel good, so I'll walk away. Jennifer she still writes a lot of stuff down. Haley doesn't. She
was using a pad yesterday.
It's texting. It's this. They put that Chat GP or whatever on my phone, and it said, Pops, did you not use it? Yeah. I have not used it. I don't understand it. Don't want to. I still go back. We do business on a handshake. That's why we still answer our phones.
Right.
You don't press 8 to get to somebody. And Jennifer realizes that's the way I am, and maybe someday she'll change it.
But do you still instill some of the old school ways into today's sales staff? Like pick up the phone and calling your customer 3 days after the sale, month after the sale.
Absolutely. It's everything, and it doesn't matter if you're selling ice cream. Everything's built on relationships. There's certain restaurants I go to a lot, just because when I walk in there, I walked in the other day and I started to look around, and Andrea says, they're already over there sitting down, so he knows the family. It just, especially in a small town, it's nice to go somewhere and feel wanted,
Recognized now in this town, yeah.
Yeah, even though you're just a customer, whether we're going to the loading chute or we're going to Bonatova or we're going to Bistro, wherever we want, it's nice to, when you walk in and greet Laurent and he knows, hi guys, how are you, etc. And that's what's Paso Robles.
And I think that's what has missed a lot from sales, over the years, is that customer service, that personal, connection, where it's go from just be a number, be a commission versus an actual customer, and that's where the value comes in. And that's, again, we go back to the roots. We go back to, the leadership is, treat your customers like family. So, and I think that's important, and you guys have done that. So Mark, I wanted to touch a little bit on the drag racing. So you got the whole drag racing stuff too. I mean, when did that come into play? After the
You can answer that.
After the square.
Yes. When I was pregnant with Jennifer, we rented this house, and had $0, and he started building this race car in our living room. And my dad would come over and say, what are you kids doing? And Mark was building this, and oh
my gosh!
I didn't know enough to say don't do that.
And your dad's coming in going, oh my gosh!
Yes.
I warned you.
You kids,
I warned you.
Yeah, I think I remember one time we wanted to go to the movies, and I had $12 in our checking account, and we went to the movies, and spent $6 or $8 of it. I mean, I think back on that, like how crazy we were, how we lived. But he built that race car in our living room. That's how it started. But when we were together, no one knew we were together. I think they thought we were friends. His dad used to take us to March meet in Wasco all the time. So, and then my parents owned a catering business, and so they would take their catering trucks out there. So we grew up around the March meets. It being right outside of Wasco was you know, what people look forward with the fair here. People in Wasco look forward to the March meets.
Is that called Famosas? Did
Yeah.
it kind of
Yeah, Formosa.
Okay.
Yeah. So when he won Famosa, we were so excited but no one really understood, you know, like, why it's just a small racetrack outside of Wasco. Why are you so excited about, you know, the March meet? And I said that has been a place that we went to, you know, when I was young with my parents doing the catering trucks, but, you know, for him to even race on that track, much less win that race, it was huge.
And this was the car that you built in your living room?
No.
No.
This is a nitro car. So we've won the March meet twice. Both times been lucky to have Sheila had made the trip over to be there. All the kids were there. The great grandbaby was there for the last one.
But I don't even know what cars we have. Like, he doesn't, you know. Someone will say, oh, you know, Marks, which car are you taking to the race? I'll see it on social media. And I'll say, which car? Like, how many cars do we have? And I go down there and go in the race shop, and there's like 3 race cars sitting there. I'm like, when did we buy that? His famous saying is always, I'm going to sell it. Don't worry, that one's for sale.
Everything's for sale.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's a salesman.
So have you ever like been in the car? Have you ever
No.
driven her in the car? Because I mean,
No.
probably some of the early ones you could do like 2 seats, right?
No, we've always
No.
been single seat.
Have you?
Haley, when she was 9 years old, we put her in a junior dragster. We got her a junior dragster. Sheila was not a happy camper.
Yeah.
First time at Famosa, Haley's first pass. She was a nervous wreck, screaming. She was not a happy camper. And so Haley won a couple rounds and lost. And the other car was quite a bit faster. So we're on our way home. And first thing she says, you know, she got beat by a faster car. I said, you know, that's what it is. And she goes, well, we probably need to get her a faster car. And I look at her and it's like, 2 hours ago, you told me you don't want her in the car, you don't want her racing, you don't want this, you don't want that. And now you want me to get a faster car? So that's where that third car in the race shop came
Oh,
from.
no, that was not her car.
There's something about that competitiveness with your grandkids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
she loved it.
Haley did good. She would, on Tuesdays, her grades were, because we always had a deal, you had to have a B average or you're not going racing this weekend. And she would not have a B average, and by Friday, she would have a B average, and
all of her teachers were signing off to,
we'd
Help
be
her
going
along.
Yeah.
racing. It is somewhat of a family sport for us, I think. A lot like the Gordons and stuff like that. I enjoy it, and Sheila, I don't know if to say allows me to enjoy it, but you know, if you're going to the races, go, and we'll be over there on Sunday or whatever.
I just don't want him to race. So my thing is, if you build the car, you work on the car, you do all that, just promise me that you won't get behind the wheel.
So you were back in the days.
Yeah.
When was the last time that you were in the
Long
driver's seat?
time ago. And I understand that, especially with the dealership, when you have people relying on you and stuff like that. It was Sheila's deal was, that's what you want, I'm good, get back into racing. You just can't be in the seat. You know, there's too much, people rely on us for business, for jobs and everything else. And
You see where his mind goes? His mind goes for the business and the jobs. My mind is, you know, we have Jennifer and Jason and
you could go to the husband
Stephanie.
store and get another husband.
where's that store at? I haven't seen it yet.
but that's. I mean, you're right. I mean, there's a lot of aspects to it. You know, if injury occurs, then you know more people are going to be affected than just just you, which is important. But you have a race team, right? So now, I can't remember her name. That's
Eileen Stafford from Down South drives, and then Dan Horan, who's a funny car driver, has driven the other car. We've raced both cars. We had both cars at the Nitro Revival, which was the last race at Irwindale a year ago. And they're both Nitro top fuel cars, rear engine cars. So yeah, no, it's...
Now, just out of curiosity, because you mentioned the Gordons, now you got Maddie that's going to be stepping into Ron Capps next year I mean, and she's 21 years old, maybe 22, but you got Doug Gordon, 3-time world champion. How come that relationship didn't ever meet up?
With what?
Well, where you guys team up. I mean, you obviously have the vehicles.
Maddie's first race car was
Haley's
old junior dragster.
Yeah.
So that car went from us to Doug, and he put Maddie in it. So we have pictures of us at the racetrack with Haley getting in her new car and Maddie being in the old car. And I've known Mike Gordon for years when he was driving, and Doug and his wife and Jennifer and Jason are at the same type of age, so they knew each other. And
so you guys were competitors then?
Not really, because Haley was a little bit older, so it was a different class.
Yeah.
We are great friends. I mean, if I need something, I've called Maddie and needed clutch disc ground, and she'll come get them and go do it for me, and I'll go over the next day and pick them up and leave a couple boxes of donuts. But no, we support their team. We help sponsor the girls, Maddie and Macy. Yeah, it's for them, it's a great family sport. You got 3 generations,
and they truly, the whole family does do that.
Of all 3 are knowledgeable. There's nothing that Maddie and Macy can't do that Doug can do, engine-wise, whatever. They're tough, and it all starts with Mike and his wife.
Well, I'm interested because we're going to have Maddie on here, hopefully real soon. To talk about where she's at now. She was on last year, and to learn that they're 100% family team. Macy, Maddie breaks apart the engine, tears apart the engine, puts in the new piston, puts in the new. Literally, like they do. There's no mechanic.
Outsider, yeah.
It's a unique. And I don't know, Mark. I mean, is that pretty unique within the racing business?
Sure, it is. I mean, yeah, it is. I mean, I think I'm speaking out of turn here, but I think part of if Doug has a situation with Maddie jumping into a nitro top fuel car run for Ronnie Capps, is that he just lost a crew member that can do anything he can on the car. So yeah, I mean, for her to, and we all know Ron Capps pretty good, and so Maddie's going to get an opportunity to run with one of the greatest drag racers there is, and she's talented, and she will succeed because of her grandpa and her dad. And, I mean, Doug's been upside down and everything else. Maddie hasn't yet, so that's a good part. But no,
Let's knock on that wood, right?
Yeah, like I
No,
said,
not yet.
when it comes to drag racing, it's a top-notch deal.
Wow. Well, before we finish up, so Borjon Auto Center, right there, Golden Hill, 46. We're at 91. 35 years.
35 years, but that's not the big year.
That's not the big year.
January 23, 2026 will be 50
As a whole.
for me and her.
That we've been married for 50 years. Yeah.
50 years. And through the dealership, and through the racing, and through the moves, and through the houses, and through the square. It all started on the square.
Let's start on the square.
I mean, literally.
Yep.
You might need to get shirts, Mark, that says it's all started on the square.
Name it after Sheila.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Like I said, I can tell, you guys are, very in love, and, the family you guys have built are great. Jennifer, Haley, I mean, they're, like I said, and you, I mean.
And Stephanie, when you meet Stephanie.
Stephanie.
Oh, yeah. That's
never
a
met her, but
character. That's a character.
I bet she
Yeah.
keeps you guys all in line.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
I bet. No, it's been awesome, and like I said, we appreciate you guys as a whole as far as the community support. I know you guys support everything and anything, in Paso Robles, very well rooted into the community, very well rooted into the sheriffs, the schools, everything that people ask of you. You guys are there for and support. So appreciate that as a whole amongst everybody else. So anything else you want to add before we go out?
Thank you.
Aw, see how sweet he is.
Sometimes.
No,
That's
it's awesome.
sweet.
No, I appreciate it. So, but we appreciate you guys, and we love meeting you.
Yes.
Finally coming in.
Yes.
And we appreciate you guys being a sponsor and being a part of our journey. And I love your guys' journey. That is so awesome. And thank you for sharing.
I don't want anybody to think, though, it's been cherries the whole time. Everybody's
sure it
like,
wasn't.
oh, gosh, your family. I'm like, if you only knew some of the stuff that,
Well, our next one will be Mark, and we'll hear about the dark side of the dealership. What happens
Just
behind
have us girls on here. That's what you do.
what happens behind closed doors?
Yeah.
How many glasses were broken against the wall?
Yeah.
How many, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you've seen all that stuff, and now you're in a new technology. You're in a new world of car dealerships where we're talking about EVs and the battle between gas and electric, and where does what does the future hold? Mm-hmm. Nobody knows.
Who knows?
Awesome.
And Randy, thank you for everything you do.
Yeah.
You support everybody. You're there. You're great for North County.
And
Yeah.
I see you on social media with your grandbaby.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said, that love is like different than
yeah.
your kids.
It's funny I say because I see these kids being raised on Facebook, so I feel like I know them. So I see them in public and I just want to smooch them. And these kids are like, oh God, who's that lady?
Right.
But I love like just watching all these kids growing up. And, I don't know you personally, but I know that you have a grandson and yeah.
Yep,
I
two
love
of them
that.
and one on the way.
Yeah. Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
You're gonna
so
have
the
your
family's
third one.
yep,
Yeah.
family's growing, and again, we stick together and do a lot of
Yeah.
stuff together and all that stuff, just like you guys. And I think it's really important. I
Yeah.
think it really makes your family thrive, and makes you feel young all the time.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to keep up with the young guys, Mark. That's the hard part sometimes.
We have two great boys in our family, though. Jason, Jennifer's husband, they've been married 25 years. And, if I had to pick a son, I would have picked him. And then Casey, Haley's husband, same thing. He's just so good. And he's good to us, I know Mark and I, we can be hard at times. We just all went to St. Thomas together in July this year. And the boys are just so tentative. They barbecued for us, and it's just so nice. I'm so happy that, my girls found good men,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's super important.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
But awesome, guys. Thank you so much. I really enjoyed this. I can't wait for part 2.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. All right.
we'll have to have part 2.
Yeah.
So one last question, Mark.
Yeah.
Dealership open hour-wise. How can they reach you? How can they find you?
Service is open from 7:30 to 5:30. Sales is open from 9 to 6, except for Sundays. It's open from 10 to 5.
Awesome.
That allows our employees to go to church or spend Sunday morning with their family.
Very cool. Trucks, service bodies, flatbed, utilities, everything.
You name it. Service, whatever needs to be done.
Awesome. Awesome, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming in and sharing the story and the journey with me.
All right, good deal. Thank you, Randy.
All right, guys. Hey, make sure you guys get over there to Borjon Auto Center, right there at Golden Hill 46. Guys, you won't be disappointed. They got everything and anything you need for that truck-loving person that's in your family. But as always, guys, we can't do this without you and our sponsors. We'd like to thank Escalar Wine Travelers Hideaway, Visit Atascadero, 805 Customs, MGP Coating, Premier Ag, Trailer Barn, Story Termite, Pest Control, Kennedy Club Fitness, Airflow Filter Services, Templeton Heating and Air, of course, Borjon Auto Center. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you next time. When it comes to comfort, trust the team that's been keeping the North County homes cozy since 1995. At Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning, they're your hometown pros right here in Templeton. From tune-ups to repairs, remodels to new construction, even duct replacements and attic ventilation, they got you covered. Call your neighbors at 805-434-3741. Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning. Local, trusted, dependable.
Hi, I'm Glenn McWilliams.
And I'm Annie. As sixth-generation farmers, we understand what it takes to keep a ranch, a farm, and a community growing strong.
And that's why we started Premier Ag to bring quality feed, trusted Western wear, and real service to the Central Coast.
From hay delivery across the county to hands-on support for local youth and ag programs, we're proud to give back to the community that raised us.
And when we say from seed to stable, we mean it. We've walked the fields, we've fed the animals, and now we're here to serve families just like yours.
Come visit us at 1041 Paso Robles Street in Paso Robles and experience the difference of a store built by farmers for farmers.
From seed to store, where quality meets country.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Looking for a top quality concrete coating in SLO County? Hi, I'm Matt Gifford with MGP Coatings, your trusted local expert in durable, long-lasting concrete coatings backed by Pentec's limited lifetime warranty. Whether it's residential or commercial, we deliver expert craftsmanship, premium products, and unbeatable customer service. When we say we make concrete great again, we mean it. As a locally owned, community-driven company, we take pride in transforming garages, patios, pool decks, wineries, and even interior spaces into stunning, functional areas. Are you ready to upgrade your space? Give us a call at 805-952-5301. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or visit mattgiffordpainting.com. Join the MGP Coating family today.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.